Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are continuing our Hinge theorem discussion, and we're going to be going through a paragraph proof in which we will try to utilize the Hinge theorem to make some conclusions. In the following diagram, we can clearly see that we are given some information about angle XWY. So we have XWY and XYW, and we are also given already that WZ is greater than YZ. All right, so that value of WZ is greater than the value of YZ. So what do we know? All right, well, first and foremost, because it gives us that angle XWY is congruent to XYW, I can make the statement that XY, right, these two right here, XY and XW, they're going to be congruent themselves because these two are congruent angles, right? Congruent angles, congruent side. Now, what tells us that? Think back to a couple sections. What kind of triangle, basically, did this XYW end up becoming? Well, that's an isosceles triangle. That's the converse of the base angles theorem. Okay, so now I can make the statement that XY is congruent to XW. All right, this is good news. So what do we know? Well, where are we trying to take this? Well, we're trying to identify that WXZ, all right? WXZ, this angle right in here, WXZ, right, is greater than YXZ, greater than YXZ. So where else can we kind of go with this? Well, what do we always look for when we're talking about triangles? We look for shared sides. This is important, all right? This is important because if I want to try to utilize the Hinge theorem, like I said, the goal of this video was, you've got to put yourself in that position. And now the reflexive property shows that we've got congruency at XZ, right? We have congruency at the segment XZ. All right, we're getting somewhere. Well, now we're putting ourselves to compare this angle right here and this angle right here in that Hinge theorem position, right? In that Hinge theorem position. So since WZ, this side right here, was given to us, right, as being greater than YZ, I can make the claim that this angle, the measure of WXZ, had to have been greater than this angle right in here, YXZ. That is what our Hinge theorem tells us, right? It is our Hinge theorem that talks about if we're in this position where there are two pairs of congruent sides of a triangle, if the opposite side is bigger, then the opposite angle is bigger. In this case, WZ is greater than YZ, so the converse of our Hinge theorem tells us that WXZ is greater than YXZ.